programs. In all of the programs that I attended, all of the education that I had, college, public, and otherwise, nobody ever told me that I was an African woman. Nobody ever told me what the history of African people were. Nobody ever told me that America is business, and without business, you will have nothing and be nothing. And nobody ever told me how to organize business so that I would be able to develop institutions in my own community. So now the sincerity of all of the programs and all of the education has to be questioned, indicted, and convicted, because the bottom line is that America is not and has never tried to produce African adults who are functional, self-sufficient, who understand their politics, their economics, and their relationship to the world politics and the world economics.
American side with the NAACP, the Urban League, and the traditional We Shall Overcome civil rights leaders of the 50s and 60s that have been all but abandoned and ignored by younger people, Sister Souljah included.
I think that the dice are loaded, and that's what's left out of Mr. Brown's piece. See, there was a period of time in this country after Reconstruction where African people owned a lot of land, owned a lot of businesses, and did a lot of things. But what happened was the American government, the Ku Klux Klan, and other organizations organized in smashing that effort. So it's not that we haven't tried to own land and have not organized businesses. It's that if you are African in America, or in Latin America, or in the Caribbean, or in the continent, you will be hunted no matter what you do, because they do not want us to survive and become self-sufficient. And you can say no, but you haven't lived this life. You haven't lived this life.
And to be happy. I'm talking about that. All right. Oh, now, to paraphrase Senator Bradley of New Jersey, the state from which your piece was.
Senator Bradley gets much right when he talks.
He does, and he, among other things.
Welcome to another episode of You Left Shit Out. I'm your host, Compton J. It's always surprising to see brother Cornel West in these flashback videos when he was on the other side. In this clip, he's the liberal and Sister Souljah is the radical. So it's always always, I don't think he would describe himself as the most radical even today, but he's a lot more radical than he was before. I would love to have a conversation. That would be a question I would ask him. What changed him between those times on those clips and now? So we're gonna get into the topics today. I'll throw up throw up the graphics, and I'm saying graphics with an S because I'll explain more. That, but we got the Jimmy Dore runs for president in 2024. We got Rich Cosplaying Leftist, that is Richard Roach, says Liz Cheney 2024. Imagine Liz Cheney running, Joe Biden running, or Liz Cheney, Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, Jimmy Dore, Donald Trump. Like that could possibly be the last election of the United States as the United States. And then we got Cenk, a video of Cenk talking about some people, BJG or Briahna Joy Gray, one of them, calling her a fake leftist. So we got that. And then whatever else pops up in the discussion, but that is the first graphic. Now the second graphic. So I did not, so when I heard about Jimmy running, I did not know anything about the MPP letter whatsoever. I did remember getting something from the MPP. I thought they were, because last night, I'm still on their mailing list. So last night, I think it was last night. Yeah, it was last night. Ding, something from them. Jimmy Dore's running for president. I just thought they were commenting on it. So I didn't think anything of it to like open it or anything like that. So get to today, and then I start hearing about this letter, and it's Hard Lens Media. Check them out. Shout out to Hard Lens over there, friend of the show, friend of the network. So yeah, the guys over at Hard Lens Media, that's where I saw the letter. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Things are never quite what they appear. They're never quite what they appear. And we're going to get into that. And now let me show you the second graphic. So after that letter, in pondering for several hours, this is the second graphic. Jimmy Dore running is all about MPP, and I'll explain that in just a minute. But first, let's do a chat check. Let's do a like check. We have 100 people already, so great. Thank you for everybody showing up, like right at the beginning. And we're gonna get into the top topic first, because it's fresh in my mind. Because, like I said just a few hours ago, I just learned about this letter, so I don't have a lot of thoughts already written down, or I've thought about. I mean, outside of just changing my perspective about what is happening here. We're at 83 likes, so great work. We had 112 viewers, so we could get it to 100 likes if you can. And then let's do a chat check. Start from the top here, just to get some hellos. So, oh, everybody's saying hello to each other. Great. And it's Dore 2024. There's somebody. BJG is going to continue to keep talking to Democrats and look for ways to convince people to donate to them and vote for them. In the process, she will be helping them and working against us. I did not know she was doing that, because I know she votes third party. Because I don't think I've seen her say that, but she could have. Again, I don't follow everything she said, so maybe she have. I'm unaware of it. And let me make this clear. I'm not a person that reads into shit. I'm taking words for face value. So what I'm saying is I haven't heard the words, go out and vote for Democrats. Unless you count Nina Turner. And I think that's a personal reason. This is my friend, because I think if she was a Republican, she will be stomping for her too, saying this is the only good Republican to ever run. So I think that's a friend decision, not a Democrat decision. Like I said, she votes third party, but again, I haven't watched all her stuff, so all of you probably much more well versed on what's going on. So I'm gonna take your words also for face value. Something about Steph. Okay, I would like to see Jimmy on a debate stage telling all of those clowns about themselves. It would be better when Mike Gravel did it. It'll be better than when Mike Gravel did it a few years back. So my perspective on this before I saw the MPP letter. So let's do that. My perspective on this. Actually, let's start over. Let's start from the beginning. How about we do it that way? So let's start from the beginning. So what I'm going to do is bring up. So somebody clipped the section from the Sabby Sab show on YouTube, and I found it. So oops. Let me pause it in a second. Started playing in my ear. So I'm going to stop this here and start the next one. Let's see here. Is that it? No, it's this one. Okay. All right. So let's start here, and then we'll read the letter, or parts of it. I'm not reading all that letter, so we'll read part of it because it's pretty long when I was watching it on on Heartlands Media. So this is the clip that they clipped. So let's watch this first, and then we'll move to the next part.
So I have to ask, and I want to hear it from you. Are you considering running in 2024?
So I'm considering it, right? Because I wish there was someone like me running that, I mean, in a sense that they had the message of don't blame your neighbor. Your neighbor is being oppressed by the same motherfuckers that you are being, that is oppressing you, right? They're on the same boot that came down during COVID on you, came down on your neighbor. It's not their fault. It's the oligarchy's fault, who, by the way, have been lying to you and funneling money upward through this COVID all the way through it. You know, just just little things like, why can't I buy a baseball mitt where there's one guy working at my local sporting goods store on the corner, but I can buy one from Amazon when they got 1,000 people working inside of it? But you know what I mean? During COVID, when it started, so why was Target and Amazon and all those and Walmart, why were they allowed to stay open, but everybody's pizza joint had to? You know what I mean? It's like these, we weren't allowed to have these conversations. And now we find out that it was all, they were lying at every turn. And, you know, anyway, so I hope someone like me who doesn't deem, what Christian Smalls did is what needs to be done. And that's what, as soon as you try to do that, that's what wakes them up. What I mean is, as soon as you organize along class lines, Christian Smalls, when he was on my show, I said, you know, that Amazon warehouse that you organized, that's in Staten Island. Now, did you just do it with the lefty liberals, or because there's lots of Trumpers there. There's lots of Staten Island. I know who lives in Staten Island. And he said, no, I had to organize with all. Of course, that's how you organize.
Yeah. So for me, I thought this was the genesis, the beginning of this whole thing. But come to find out, the reason she asked the question or began this line of questioning was because of the letter. And I did not know that, because when I started watching the Sabby show, they had been talking. So I didn't see talking about, they were already on this topic or towards the end of this topic. So I didn't see it live. So I had to rewind it, and I didn't catch this part where she asked the question. But anyway, so that's the video. Let me see if I have the letter. So we'll read parts of the so let me tell you from here where I'm thinking this is the genesis. This is what I was doing. I was telling you my first initial reaction. So I'm thinking, like, I couldn't understand online, like on Twitter, why people were critiquing him saying he was running for president or thinking about it. I didn't understand why people were critiquing it as if it was serious, like he thought he was going to win. When I saw the interview, I clearly took out of that interview, him saying this, was that he felt somebody needs to be on the national stage saying these things. And if nobody else is going to do it, he'll step up and do it, possibly. That's how I took it. Because he has a big enough voice, he has a large enough platform, he have enough people that will donate to him to where they would have to pay attention to him. But Jimmy Dore is a comedian, okay? And what I know a lot of comedians. My brother's a comedian. My brother works for Chris Rock. What I know about comedians is they're realists. And by no means do I think Jimmy Dore has in his mind that he believes he's going to win in 2024 run. No, by no means do I think he believes that. But if he got in and to bring up all these topics, it would be an earthquake. And I would love that. Now, let me tell you what are the questions I had written down before I found out about the MPP. I'm going to tell you what it is. This is not made up. So what I do is I go downstairs in my garage to try to get some peace and quiet. My girls are kind of I have very active girls. So here's one of the questions I had when I'm thinking this is the beginning, not knowing anything about the letter, right? He obviously couldn't run as MPP. So what would it be? Green Party or independent? I have that written down. This is several hours before I even knew. He obviously cannot run as MPP. So understand my thinking. I already have this in my head that he obviously is not going to run for the disgusting Nick Brana's party. Obviously, after this that has happened, that is my thinking. Why I put this question down. So I'm thinking, so he's about to pull a Ross Perot, which I still think he should do. Then when I find out this news about the letter, then I'm like, oh, what the fuck is this? That's when it comes to me that this is about MPP. That's what this is about. This is about resurrecting MPP, because remember the last sighting of MPP, it was Nick Brana and sexual assault charges. Remember that? So he just went radio silence for a couple of months. You tell me this is not the Democratic playbook. So that all this other shit that happened because we're living in a failed state, an empire that's crumbling, so you know a bunch of shit's going to happen and make you forget shit. Oh, let's just bring out Jimmy Dore without any discussion about what the fuck is going on with Nick Brana. Do you don't see what the fuck's going on? So then I go to looking at this stuff, and I'm not seeing anybody ask this question here. We're just glancing over Nick Brana. This is Democratic playbook. You're accused of sexual assault charges. Let it die out. Quietly do a civil case. Give the person some money. Let it die out and then come back. Remember Mendez convicted of corruption charges? He magically came back. This is Democratic playbook 101. We cannot support the candidacy of anyone as long as Nick Brana is at the head of MPP. We cannot support anyone running for MPP regardless of who it is if Nick Brana is at the helm. I'm going to say it a third time. We cannot support any candidate running for MPP if Nick Brana is a part of it. We cannot. Are we doing the same thing that the Democrats did with Joe Biden and Me Too? Are we doing that now? Is that what we're doing, people? How are we not seeing this is literally the Democratic playbook? Now, let's get to Jimmy. So, the snake oil salesman, Nick Brana, capitalized on this. So, it either went two ways. Either Jimmy came up with this idea, and now Nick is trying to sneak MPP back into it, and he's using Jimmy's idea, genuinely good idea, to run. Or Nick got Jimmy to do this. One or the other, right? It either came from Jimmy having a genuinely good idea, or Nick trying to use this genuinely good idea to bring MPP back, to resuscitate MPP nationally. There's a lot of great local MPP. We're talking about national MPP. And a presidential candidate is a national MPP thing. We cannot support any candidate running as MPP as long as Nick Brana is at the helm. We cannot. Thank you for the super chat. We just saw Johnny Depp come. I think that should be come on, CJ. I think that's, if I'm wrong, please tell me, but I think because come one, CJ doesn't make sense to me. Let me find that super chat before, because I think I missed one last time. And I don't want to do that again. So I'm looking for all the super chats just so that, okay, so here's another one. But I saw one in red. If Jimmy got any headway, he'd probably be assassinated, win or lose. That's factual, or the possibility. But Jimmy might be like, hey, I don't trust none of you Secret Service. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Go get the Booyah Tribe. Look that up, Booyah Tribe. Yes, I'm trying to look for that big super chat. Somebody said it. Okay, here is one. I think this is it. Thank you, RBN, for educating and bringing us all together. I think that's Landrew. Right on. Thank you for the super chat. Really do appreciate that. So I count 3 super chats. I think that's all. Hopefully, if there's a fourth one that I missed, please somebody just let me know in the comments. Actually, let me throw some items up here. That's fine. Can't sign on to this one. Maybe you can't, but I'm telling you, this will be a bumpy ride. This will be a bumpy ride because so. As a sexual assault survivor, childhood sexual assault, there's no way that Compton James here will sit back while Nick Brana remains at the top of this organization, and then we're just all gonna just say, oh, okay, but what about no. So I will be relentless. Nick Brana should resign from the MPP is what he should do. So this is what I'm going to say. We're no better than a Democratic Party, than Joe Biden, than all the organizations that fought against Tara Reid if we're doing this. No better. So they broke Me Too, and this situation, if we're doing this, is putting it in the garbage disposal. Never to be seen again. Because we have no standing, zero standing about anything about the Democratic Party and Me Too and Tara Reid if this is what we're doing. No standing whatsoever. So let's get to some comments. We're not doing this. Let me tell you something. This is not happening. This is not. With Nick Brana still there, you don't understand all the fucking emotions that I can't put into the person that did the shit to me. I'm putting into this. So let's go. I have no problem with that. Let's go. And let me throw this up. This could all just be a story to resuscitate the filthy, disgusting Nick Brana. The piece of shit Nick Brana. Yeah, so let's get to some comments here. I'm surprised. I wish I know I'm not the first person to think of this. I know I'm not. So I just want to find a comment because I need to feel like the left is not duped into this shit. Because I'm losing fucking hope. Nick Brana went on his PR tour straight from the Democratic playbook. Remember that? Why don't you ask Sabby, has he produced any fucking receipts at all? Ask Sabby that. You know how, oh, we'll get that shit to you. He says that shit all the fucking time. So we're doing this. We're doing this. And Rome, if you're watching, sir, this is the shit I'm talking about that have me losing hope here. Because if I knew it was MPP from the get-go, that first graphic would have never been made. It would have been the second graphic from the jump. Clearly, we're not jumping to Jimmy without talking about Nick Brana, right? Nothing is official. I don't even think he's going to be running, to be honest with you. I think the idea is great. I just think it should be independent. He can raise funds. Right and left. He can unite right and left. Jimmy's audience is right. Jimmy has a similar, or we have, I should say, because his audience is older, not older in age, but he's had his audience longer than ours. His audience, there's a lot of conservative people, that watch him. As this channel. We have a lot. I can't remember what the breakdown, but it wasn't small. It was something like 30, 35% when we did a poll months ago, maybe even double-digit months ago, to the makeup, and it was very mixed. Very mixed. We have anywhere from people that would describe themselves. Actually, no. Let's leave it there. I'm going off on a tangent. Dude, Greens have no standing with rigging it against Dario. Is there a CJ rant about this? No, because we're not talking about that. This is the type of shit. This is the type of shit. This is the type of person I would just ignore in real life. This type of stupid shit like this. So you can respond. I'll put it up. Cat 83. Don't give a fuck. Me Too is a neoliberal trap. That could be too. That could be true also. CJ, what happened to you is not the same with Nick. It was sexual harassment, I hear, but even, let me just tell you, I know more than y'all know. Okay? So what happened to you is not the same. It was not sexual harassment at all. But even that is sketchy, and it wasn't sketchy whatsoever. So let's take her off for today. I'm really feeling real shaky with this left shit. Really feeling shaky with this shit. How you're able to make lines gray because the person you like is Jimmy Dore. I like Jimmy Dore too. And what have I said in this stream that has been negative about Jimmy Dore? This is about Nick Brana. Y'all not focused here. Jimmy should run as an independent. Run as an independent. He could raise enough money to do that. People would campaign with him. RBN would campaign with him across the 50 states. This ain't about Jimmy. This is about Nick. So, like I said, if we're doing the same thing where Jimmy Dore is Joe Biden, so because we're afraid of Donald Trump, we're okay with this person who was clearly inappropriate with women, with young girls. Clearly. We're going to overlook that because we're afraid. We're doing the same thing here. We love Jimmy Dore. He's great. So we're going to overlook the whole Nick Brana shit. We're the same. Oh, let me rephrase that. You're the same. This is really having me lose a lot of respect. This is really having me lose a lot of respect. So I'm not going to put any more comments on because anybody regularly that comes in here and saying stupid shit, I'm losing a lot of respect for you. Using a lot of respect for this shit. So let's go to the letter. This is clear to me. Very clear. Nick Brana has to go. If he remains, we cannot support it. Leftists can't support him. I think Dana. Yeah, Dana, I saw her post the letter. So let's go to Dana here. This is really disturbing to me, some people's take on this. Jimmy Dore is considering, I think this is the one that's up. Let me check the stream again. Yeah. Jimmy Dore is considering running for president. He could win the party's people. Yeah. Let me go to his page. Now, it's probably down here somewhere. He's on Cenk. And we're going to get to Cenk too. We're going to get to Cenk in just a second here. So, probably be pulling up the same video. So, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to give it enough leeway here to make sure that he didn't post it. Because to me, this is another this is proof to me more that this is a Nick thing. So people that are excited, people that want to run for president, people that have a party that's pushing him, they don't retweet the shit. That's what you're telling me? And you're telling me you're not understanding how this is a thing to whitewash back Nick Brana into MPP acceptability into the public, into public discourse after the last thing that happened. We're not understanding that. Why would Jimmy Dore not tweet this shit? Why wouldn't MPP be retweeting a Jimmy Dore tweet? Nothing? Right. Sabby asked him the question. That's why Jimmy said something about it. And Jimmy, if you notice in his answer, Jimmy talked about what the things that could happen, what needed to be said in discourse. You understand, like, he is more about getting people the information. So like I said, either Jimmy came up with the idea because he genuinely understands that people in this national election that's coming up, if Trump and Biden are the two, somebody needs to be there saying something. And if you notice in the interview, he didn't go back to, MPP and running and like the technicalities of it. He's talking about the message that needs to be put out to people. I'm just saying, the person that's excited, about running, the person that wants to run, the person that hit up Nick and said, hey, you know what? I'm thinking of running. Let's do something. That person, wouldn't it be on that person's page? See what other comments Sabby got here. Let me find Sabby's comments if you have any more. Also, Jimmy would have to give up his show if he ran for president. That's why Chris Hedges didn't run. I did not know that's why Chris Hedges didn't run. I didn't know that. MPP is a dead end trap for a real third-party movement. It is. I think it can be something else only because it hasn't been well established. Like there's no infrastructure at all. Not an infrastructure to elect people. Let me say it that way. There is an infrastructure, not an infrastructure to elect people. So, right. Getting information to people is why I think is a great idea. But again, before I knew any of this, I'm going to throw your comment up there. Before I knew any of this, remember the question I wrote down? He obviously cannot run or couldn't run as an MPP candidate. That's what I have written down before I knew any of this. Sabby Sab, you know we love all that you do so much. We all love Sabby. I like calling her Sabrina. I don't know if she dislikes that, but because I like the name Sabrina. So I like to say it. I don't get to say it a lot. You can't run as People Party candidate. There's no People Party. Nick has no infrastructure or desire to form a party. Jimmy would have to build his own campaign in all 50 states. Yes. So the party that has never ran a candidate, has never won an election, no candidates on the horizon, they're just going to come out with a presidential candidate? Are we being serious? He should run as an independent, like Ross Perot. So, Jimmy, if you're watching, run as an independent like Ross Perot. You have 1 million followers or 1 million subscribers, thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people that know you, all 50 states, all the places you tour. Just think about that. You tour, Jimmy. You already sort of campaign. Like, that's what comedy touring is. It's campaigning. You're a comedy. So Jimmy, he already is in that mode. So the campaigning would be great. And think his celebrity would bring in people just to hear him speak. And people will bring their friends. Hey, you red team guy. Hey, you blue team guy who normally votes for the red and blue team. Come with me to go listen to Jimmy Dore down here. Now they're bringing people to listen to Jimmy Dore through an independent candidacy. Or he can run for the Green Party candidacy. He would win. Let's do a like check here. Let's do a dislike check here. Hey, let's do that. Let's see how many dislikes I have. I'm sure this may be my highest dislike stream here. Yes, 4 dislikes. We don't get a lot of dislikes on our videos. We have 220 people watching, I believe, right now. If we can jump, or 216, we can jump our likes to 200. That's like another 25. That'll bring in more people that'll be mad at me for my take on this. Or actually, not a lot of people, because there are people in the chat that agree also. So where was I? Where was I here? Oh, my bad, everybody. Let me turn this off here. Oh, wait. Somebody's messaging me here. Sabrina. Oh, check your tweet. Jimmy responded. Thank you, Sabrina. Oh, well, so good. Good thing I did have it on. So wait a minute. Let me turn the sound back on here, just in case I get some other message. So she said check my tweet. So let me check my tweet. Let's see what he says here. Maybe it's down here. Oh, actually, let me just go to this page. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, actually, let me see if anybody throw it in here. Let me throw that up because I just saw it. Jimmy's campaign slogan should be "It's us against them." That would be a great campaign slogan. That would be a great campaign slogan. And thank you, Sabrina, for giving me the heads up on the tweet. Let me find the tweet. I'm still looking for it, but I saw the super chat. I didn't want to miss it. I know there's another one. Let me throw that one up here. Love the channel despite a disagreement here. Absolutely. That'll happen time to time. Did I miss another one? I'm bad with. So let me just tell you, when I'm doing the show, I'm not actually. I'm like on the screen that I'm watching a video. So I'm not actually here to be able to see the notes. I have to come back. So this is the reason why sometimes I'll miss some notes or comments. I'm saying notes, but some comments because of that. And I remember a comment. I don't know if I put it up. Jay is or CJ is fired up. Yeah, I am fired up about that. I am fired up about that in particular because just that's. But I'll explain more in a little bit. Let me see. She said he replied. Oh, right here. Here it goes. Here he goes. So this is the reply. Thank you, Sabrina. for letting me know, because I would have found this totally. Oh shoot, I enlarged the wrong screen. Hold on, everybody. This is just a technicality for me and what I can see. Sorry. So let me enlarge this screen here. So here we go. All right. So he's responding to this here. If we're going to run a white male prez, why not Chris Hedges? Why do we have to go with the most divisive of all the possible contenders? I don't fucking get it. I like Jimmy, though not always agree with him, but this is just silly. I agree. I'd rather he run. Can you convince him? I gladly work to help him get this message out. Sad nobody else will run on a platform of class solidarity. Absolutely. So that was, let me just make sure it wasn't anything else. Okay. So that was, oh, wow. It looks like people, some of the reformist leftists are responding with videos. I saw a video link in the chat here, in the comments here, from somebody, obviously a shitlib YouTuber is put out a video. So I can't resist. Let's go see. Let's go see. Because before I did the show, I looked for videos and I didn't see any videos. There was one that hadn't started yet, and it was the Vanguard that theirs was upcoming, but it like there wasn't, when I was looking at the information, there wasn't one already. There wasn't one. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Already available. All right, so I was trying to think of that and what I was supposed to type. That's why it was hard for me to do that. So yeah, so let's let's look at, what was I just about to do here? Oh, Jimmy Dore for president. That's what I was, not to go to his page. My bad, everybody. So the Vanguard did theirs. Now let's check everybody else. This will be very funny to see. Let's start with upload date. All right, so this is Vanguard Debate Me channel. Zanjaro, I don't know how to say that name. Then there's us streaming, and then this Cyber Demon 531 has already said something. And then JT, I don't know these people, so I'm not gonna critique them. It doesn't look like anyone. Oh, you know what? I may have to go to their page. Let's go to their page. I think it was a Humanist Report that I saw. So we're going on this journey together. Is it? Did he do anything? I'm just gonna go directly to their pages to see if anything was done. It doesn't look like it. So yeah, doesn't look like it. So yeah. All right, so I don't think anyone has put a video out. There is people that put a video out, these people here. So let's, we are saved, oh God. Let's look at the Vanguard. Do they have a shorter version of this here? That's the long version. I think they cut it too slow. Let's watch this whole video. So I showed you 2 minutes of the video.
Agent, there was
There's actually 7 minutes of this video. So let's play it at the end of the clip that I played. So we're gonna start it there and play the rest of Jimmy's answer to the question when he was on the Sabby Shap show. So let's play that now.
Island. I know who lives in Staten Island, and he said, "No, I had to organize with all. Of course, that's how you organize." And I've said this since the day I had the Boogaloo Boy on my show. And I had the next guy on claim to be a union organizer. And I said, what's your message for a guy like that? Who's pro-gay, pro-LGBTQ, pro-Black Lives Matter, anti-war, anti-cop, anti-Trump, but he's a gun nut. What's your message for him? He goes, I don't have a message for that guy. I'm like, well, that's why you're a shitty fucking organizer and nobody ever heard of you. Because that's not how you organize. You don't go, hey, who here's a Trumper? You're out. Who here's a Boogaloo boy? You're out. Who here's a gun nut? You're out. Who's here's a libertarian? You're out. Who's here's a Proud Boy? You're out. Okay, who's left? Now we're going to organize with you. That's not how organizing works. It's the exact opposite. That doesn't scare them. What scares them?
No, what Jimmy is bringing up is something RBN has been hitting on. And it's something that we've been talking. I've been saying it over and over. We need to do a stream where we're talking about how do we build for class solidarity? Because the truth is this, and this is what leftists are not down with, is this. Class solidarity means our class, people in our class, or is there any poor people who are libertarians? Is there any poor people who are Donald Trump supporters? Is there any poor people who is against abortion? Is there any poor people who's against trans rights? Is there any poor people who is who's against abolishing the police? Is there any poor people who is against abolishing the military? You see what class solidarity would look like if we actually were able to stomach it. And I don't think the left can stomach it. I think it's beyond that they just don't want to do it and stick in their heels. I don't think the left can stomach that type of class solidarity and what it would mean. Because look through the list of items I went through. Is there any pro-abortion, anti, whatever you want to call them, the person who is against abortion, that person? Is there any of those people that are poor, that are in our same class? Is there any Proud Boys who are in our same class who are poor? And then we're saying this as leftists, but on the other side, the people on the right, a person who is talking to a crowd full of right people. Is there any people who are for Black Lives Matter who are poor? Is there anyone who's for trans rights who are poor? Is there anyone who is for defund the police who are poor? And the answers on both sides will be yes. But we've been, like, we have our disagreements, but we've been so conditioned to use disagreements as a way of saying I'm not doing anything with that person, instead of saying I'm just going to do specific things with this person because this person disagrees with me on a lot of other things. We've been conditioned in our politics to do that. So even if you are not voting red or blue, you still can be conditioned in the way that you approach politics. And we all are. And what Jimmy and what Chris Hedges are saying, this might be one of the more explicit ways, but I never really heard Chris Hedges say it. We need to have conversations about, what does this mean? Put the issues on the table of what we're talking about. Are we talking about compromising on abortion? Not compromise. Are we talking about class solidarity with people who are on the opposite side of abortion, who are on the opposite side of immigration, on the opposite side of defund the police, on the opposite side of defund the military, defund the Pentagon, defund Congress, getting money out of politics. If any of those people are poor, we're not for them. Or are we saying we are for them, but let's fight separately? Let them fight over there with other people who are with them on those issues, and we'll fight over here. Is that our strategy we want to do? Okay. Which strategy do we think that strategy will work? I don't know. It's a serious question. Do we think that strategy will work? Where we're all in the same class, but these are the righties, these are the lefties over here, and we're fighting, but we're fighting separately. Not like this, pounding. We're fighting like this. Can that strategy work? This is to me the conversation that the left wants to have the least about, even though they talk about coalition building in a broad sense and class solidarity. The left means class solidarity with other poor leftists. That's literally what leftists mean by class solidarity. It's solidarity with other leftists who are poor. That is what that means. That's what I mean. That's my take in what I've seen, and I've not evolved, but I've come to a better understanding of what class solidarity is over the last year. And class solidarity means, if we're talking about what Marxism preaches, talks about, that's saying all of those other things we're not dealing with. We're only dealing with everybody in the class. That's what that's saying. So if we're to follow Marxism, that means pro and anti on each issue, pro and anti-immigrant, pro and anti-abortion, pro and anti-everything, pro and anti, defund the police. That means if they're in the same class, we're all together. If we're following that. Let's get to some comments, and then I'll get back to that. I know we went off on a tangent, but I know some people may have comments on this tangent part here. Sometimes in the fog of war, it is easy to become the demons you fight. Ukon, that's why you leave those. Oh, they're having a conversation. I thought you were talking to me, Noli. Let's put your comment up. Cenk has always downplays what leftists want to fight for. BJG, not so much, but that reformist ideology is going to be BJG's downfall. If she, I think that's the typo, if she continues being alongside Marianne Williamson is terrible. She's terrible. So I concur on that. I forgot I had other stories. I spent a whole fucking hour on here. I forgot I had other stories. So I'm gonna wrap this story up. Let me see where I'm at here. I'm gonna wrap this story up in just a bit. I do have a couple more words on it, but let me set up the next story. And that is, let's go with Cenk. Let's go to Cenk. Where is he? I think it's, oh yeah, it's Comrade Nick Cruz's tweet. So let me share you his, and then where did it go? And then we can watch this video of Cenk, and then we'll comment. Okay, so that is ready to go. So let's get a couple more comments on this, and then we'll move to the Cenk story. MPP wants to cut corners and run their first candidate for national. Yeah, they are. They're really trying to push Miriam. working with racists ain't gonna get you shit. Maybe. Because you're right. Look with black people. We've been working with racists our entire time here. Ain't really got a shit. So that's a true statement. But who else do black people work with? Who else would my ancestors have worked with? Let's keep going here. Class solidarity is about achieving a true democracy. This includes those that don't agree with you on social issues. Right. So the progression, if we were to play this out chronologically, there would be class solidarity of all disagreements. So anti-trans, pro-trans, anti-immigrant, pro-immigrant, anti-abortion, pro-abortion, all together. We achieve socialism and the dictatorship of the proletariat, right? Democratic process establishing socialism. The socialism is just intermittent step to get to communism. Now, so once we team up to defeat the ruling class, then we go back to our separate democratic ways. Then we go to democratic ways. So we have anti and pro of everything, and then we democratically create laws, not create laws, but create the government or create the country we want to live in through democratic means. So the same people would be here. We would team up to defeat the ruling class, and then a true democracy where we decide pro and anti. Keep that in mind. That's the whole idea. Not saying that I'm pro or for it. I don't want to say that yet until the end or till later, until I get more of your comments. But I'm saying is that is the idea behind it. Proud Boys are definitely my enemy. Count me out. There. Gotcha. Sabi. See any more? Lots of these bigots could be converted if you focus on issues we agree on with in terms of the system screwing us all over. I'm glad people are finally starting to come around. Let's continue. Let's keep going because I don't want to keep forgetting to keep going up here. Class solidarity is about achieving true democracy. You get a gold star for doing your homework. This movement is towards a true democracy. This includes those. I think you said it. You added a little more comment to it, but yeah, that is true. That is true. So we as leftists, maybe we've never imagined it, but do leftists believe that a revolution is at the end of the revolution is everybody is leftist? Is that what we believe is going to happen? Right. I don't get the understanding of what a revolution is. Like the revolution is not going to be left. The revolution is going to be human. The revolution is going to be proletariat. So, yeah, I think Sabi works. She may be preparing for a show. But yeah, that would have been nice if she was able to make it. But I think she works and then she's prepares for a show. Or yeah. But I don't think she's obviously here, so she's not doing a show today. Neo progressives want black people to fight amongst each other. Not cool, Cenk. MPP hasn't done shit and doesn't want to do shit. I was a chapter president. Can somebody define to me a social issue? What does that mean when they say social issue? Like abortion is a social issue, is what I hear. Anything having to do with like equality, like civil rights, that's a social issue. So, can somebody give me an understanding on what that means? Why is that carved out from any, like, why does that have a separate name? Is what I'm trying to understand. I know people use that a lot, and I've always wondered that, and I just thought to ask that question. So, I'll give you a few minutes to put the comments in if you have an answer, and I'll check that. But in the meanwhile, let's see what people have said. Oligarchs put in groups because it's easier to control us, divide and conquer, the oldest trick in the ruling class playbook. Right. Brana owns MPP like the org. We're supporting literal Nazis, but Proud Boys is a bridge too far. And Jay, that's me, is spitting shit liberty up YouTube right now. Okay. Many rural white people are poor. I know my family, like I'm from my mom, like my mom moved to California, but the rest of all of her brothers and sisters still live in Texas, Louisiana, or now they live in Texas. Okay, rural parts. So when I go visit, yeah, I see, but they have their, they play their stuff, and you might think they're racist, and then I'll be like, man, and then my cousin, for example, he'll be like, nah, man, they're cool. He's like, that's just how they are. And they'll go over there, hey, and they'll talk to him. But if I were to see them, I would be thinking like, man, they look like, Proud Boys or something. But he was like, nah, they're cool. They, just so, we have to, in the same way that Black people are profiled, brown people, indigenous people are profiled, we can't profile white people too. Yeah, let me just leave it there. You can't profile white people because you might think that, he's a trucker and he's this, he has a long beard, he wears a leather jacket, biker club, but that person could also be like, I think we should stop killing people. I think there should be no wars. I think there should be peace. I think there should be more equitable. Like you have to talk to the person. So I get that. Let's see any other. Proud Boys aren't a disagreement. I saw that one. This is very poorly executed thought exercise. Boutique left spends all day playing 6 degrees to Donald Trump. I don't understand that. That just says hell no. Not sure that's 2. Let's read this. Today I'm just reading all comments, good or bad. You guys should get a God and Country America, bro. God and Country, and explain to that person the failures of capitalism and imperialism. Then explain to them that oppression has no racial barrier. So that's a discussion. That's not a comment to what I'm saying. That's part of the discussion they're having in here. So part of the problem is that there's a lot of very wealthy people in leadership on the left. They aren't thinking about class solidarity. This is the point. Thank you. Think in the same way we are. This is the point that I scream about. Why, as proletariats, are we all listening to people who aren't proletariats? Like the Majority Report, like TYT. Like, why are we listening to these people? Like Marianne Williamson, like Robert Relch, however you say his name. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense. All right, so let's go to new comments. Let's see if anybody answered the question. Thank you, Sabby. And Black liberation goes hand in hand with class solidarity. And this is a point. You know what? I'm going to look for that clip as I talk. So where did I put that clip? Actually, I may be able to find it on YouTube. So let's try it here. So there is a clip. Yeah. There is a clip on RBN Network. So let's go to the RBN Network. And it's of Dr. Anthony Montanaro. Am I saying it right? Speaking to Danny Haifong and Margaret Kimberly. And he says basically that Americans, we have been convinced that Black workers have more in common with capitalists than they do with white workers. And then he said, if that's true, then what is black liberation? And that's essentially what the left has been talked into. Progressives, left, liberals, whatever you want to call them, have been talked into. Somehow teaming up with capitalists is a better idea than teaming up with white workers, like the black a black worker, a indigenous worker, a brown worker. It's better for them to team up with white capitalists than the white workers. That's the question he posed. And let me see if I can find it. Let's go to, oh, this is ours. So let's go here. I'm going off on a tangent, but this is a good point, and this was way back in the day. I don't know the title, otherwise I would just title it and look it up, but I don't know the title, so I'm gonna make all of us go through this and do it this way. No, it's not too far down. It's actually coming up soon. Let me make sure I didn't pass it here. It's right around when I did these, or maybe not so close. Black liberation. Yeah, we're getting close. I feel like, okay, here it goes. All right, so I think it's a short clip. But let's shoot. I know I'm going off on a tangent, but this is a good tangent. So let's talk about this here. Let's put it on the screen and talk about it. Right here. I think this is it. All right, so let's go.
So if you...
Do we have a commercial on our thing? We do. Oh. So let's skip it here. Oh, there's a commercial on our thing here. Stoli's beer.
Genuine politics from elections, now that doesn't mean that on occasion or in certain circumstances, certain people run for office. But that should not be the whole thing of the left.
We say that all the time.
Should be identified with its ideas. And, we play the long game. And nothing is more powerful than ideas whose time has come. And I think, set aside this fake left, this celebrity left, this cable news left, this left that is more comfortable, would you say Goldman Sachs or...
He's literally talking about the people with MSNBC contracts. Like Sam
Yes.
Cedar, for example, by the way. But go ahead. I don't want to interrupt you.
No, this whole interview is great. That's why I know you probably, because I was sending if the audience don't know, I was sending the time codes in the DM that we share. You was probably like, what the hell is this motherfucker?
Yo, if you
sending
watching
shit?
this, hit this boy up and say RBN want to interview this man right now.
Yeah, I do want. I'm gonna
Yeah.
reach out to Danny and see if we can get an interview with him. But
Yeah,
listen
this
to
dude's
listen
on
to the rest
fire.
of this right here.
Really the military-industrial complex than they are with the working class. And I have evidence of that, by the way. I don't know, we could call names and identify people, but there are people who actually say that Black people have less in common, Black workers have less in common with white workers than they do with the 0.1%. That the woke capitalists, among them Joe Biden and so on, are more favorable to Black folk than the working class. Well, you know, besides the fact that it's a distortion, I think it is so limited and narrow in its perspective that you can't develop a tactical position out of it.
Right. So he's essentially saying, this is what I believe he's saying. Black people can't, or just people, workers, proletariats can't form a tactical position as long as we're teaming up with the capitalist class. This is why we say we can't team up with the Democratic Party. How do we strategize against capitalism if we have people who are for capitalism with us? How do we strategize for the proletariat class if the people who are leading this class aren't proletarians? You see how hard it is to develop a tactical position in that, with that sort of coalition?
If Black workers have more in common with the big capitalists because they claim to be woke than they do with a poor white worker, then what is Black liberation?
Right. So I want to discuss this point, and he makes a good point. Like, how are we going to strategize when people on the team are capitalists? Are these people that's on that? Okay, I thought I made a different point. I make the same point, so I don't need to hear that. But you see the point that he made here. Do I have the name? Yeah, Anthony Montero. Oh, okay, so I did say it the right way. Dr. Anthony Montero. But that's what we've been convinced of. That's what we as a proletariat, and that's what we as in the Black community have been convinced of. That the white worker, and this is sort of attached to the conversation we were having earlier, but the white worker and all the things that they disagree, we still have more in common with them than the woke capitalists, is the point that he's making. Let me say that again. With all the disagreements we believe we have, and let me stress the word believe, because when you start to have conversations with people, then what they believed in you and what you believed in them, a lot of that starts to fall apart. And yeah, I'm gonna just, it was on YouTube. I saw this experiment where this staunch guy that was against trans rights, and it was a trans person, right? They put him in a room. Neither one of them knew about the other. He didn't know his trans, and either right? They put him in a room to do something else, and they worked together fine. Then they told each other, and something on the live speaker came on, hey, what you're really here for is to have a discussion. He is staunchly against trans rights. and they had to have a discussion. It was a completely different discussion after they had a chance to talk without knowing that big, huge thing hanging over them, that big disagreement. And then guess what happened at the end of that? The guy was like, wow, I didn't know that. And you know what? I'm not saying I changed my mind, but I do have a better understanding. And that's what this is about. But somebody else mentioned this, that you tear down walls with these sort of coalitions. So yeah. So let's bring this back down, and then we're gonna go back to, or I'm gonna now go to the Cenk video. I said I was gonna go to it earlier. Sorry it took so long. I'm in my hour and 20 minutes into it, and I'm just now getting to the second topic. My apologies for that. What is this? Oh, this is a this is the CIA hour on the anti-imperialist. Brought in this terrific guy who what his name is Aaron Good. Brought him on to discuss the history origin of the CIA and the original CIA. What is it, OSS or whatever their name is? I forget what it is. All right, so Nick says the audacity of this union busting capitalist to call anyone else a fake progressive. This guy is acting. He's putting on a show. He has money in the bank. He got 20 mil in the bank, and he's just putting on a show. So, oops, where did it go? Oh, I guess I got to do that to put him back on screen. Okay. All right, so let me actually put some comments up. So because we're changing topics, because I know a lot of comments may be on topic. So let me do these first. Yeah, she can't run for president. She cannot. Foreign born. Jimmy's message needs to be heard by as many people as possible, but we don't have to pretend like it is good. It's not for me, it's not MPP, it's Nick. Nick is the problem. That's my point of view. I don't know what the discussion was, but I'm just jumping into your conversation. Sorry. Happy Pride Month for LGBTQ people in the chat. I added the Q on there. Yes, the video was a Sabby exclusive, the video with Jimmy Dore. Anthony was fired. Yes, he was. The best of both worlds. Could you imagine Jimmy Dore running, Joe Biden, no, not Joe Biden, Jimmy Dore, Pete Buttigieg, and or Kamala Harris and Donald Trump? I mean, you're talking about much watch TV. Just off the jokes, just off of Jimmy's jokes. I wonder who would write for him for that. Oops. A court found Amber guilty of slander. This is not even close to this situation. Yeah, it's not. Slander. This is not close to that. Yeah. Like you could do whatever you want to twist yourself into coming to the conclusion that you already want to come to, which is this is a good thing for him to run, even with Nick there. Like you could do that, but it falls flat to me. It falls flat. It's a lot of back and forth conversation I'm having to skip over. I am a student, and this is class in session. Taking my notes and prepared to do homework after class is over. Let's go down. Thank you. And interesting that this Cenk clip is presented by media. Exactly, huh? But let's listen. That is very interesting. I thought the same thing when I saw it. Let's listen.
Media is disgusting in how they shut out progressives. In terms of the right wing, no. Briahna Joy Gray, unfortunately, is one of the people that are in the fake left, and so this has become a whole niche part of the industry. So Jimmy Dore, Glenn Greenwald, Briahna Joy Gray, and a couple of others in there that are. To be fair to Dave Rubin, he started this whole thing. the fake left saying, "Oh, well, you know, it's just I'm a classical liberal, I'm a progressive, but it turns out the right wing's right about everything." Okay, so that's the shtick that they do, and they go on Tucker's show, and they dance for him, and so it's disgusting. They're not the real left, and here's how you can tell: they never disagree with Tucker. The mainstream media is disgusting in how they shut out progressives. In terms of the right wing,
let me just listen to this last part again.
For them, and so it's disgusting. They're not the real left, and here's how you can tell: they never disagree with Tucker.
I mean, it's so like if somebody said the sky is yellow, like I almost feel like, do I sit and argue with a person who is saying, like, this is so stupid what he's saying? Never, like he's you, if your opinion, like he's acting like somebody said Tucker said this, so I have that opinion. Not that somebody just have an opinion, Tucker has an opinion, and they happen to be the same. You get what I'm saying? That's what he's trying to sell you here. And if you agree with Tucker on something, a war, I don't know exactly what he's speaking about. Let's say there is some sort of agreement. Does Cenk not understand that Tucker is also playing a role? Does he not understand that Tucker's also a propagandist? Like he is? And I mean, he's treating Tucker like he doesn't know that Tucker is a propagandist. In my opinion, that's how he's treating him. But let me play the video again, and then I'm gonna stop it at the points that I want here.
The mainstream media is disgusting in how they shut out progressives. In terms of the right wing, no. Briahna Joy Gray, unfortunately, is one of the people that are in the fake left.
I mean, just think about that. I mean, with the previous segment about Jimmy, we're talking about class solidarity. In this segment with him, he's saying right and left teaming up, that's a terrible idea. Look at that. That's bad. In the previous segment, it's the opposite, whereas the right and the left, in how he's describing it, teaming up, is class solidarity. The liberals like him trying to paint, Nomiki does this too, Emma does this too, trying to paint any sort of overlapping ideology that what they would call the far right means there's like that means like you're right wing or something like that. For example, libertarians feel like there should, get rid of the war machine too. Is that a right ideology, a left ideology, or it makes sense ideology? So the framing of overlapping issues as a right issue is propaganda to me. How come any overlapping item isn't a left thing? How come anything overlapping is always a right thing? You get it? And what liberals like him are doing, like the Majority Report, they're here to stop class solidarity. Do you understand what the left has? The left has people not in the proletariat class leading the proletariat, telling you not to team up with other proletariats. That's what we have here. So they scare you with the framing by telling you it's right wing. This is always hard for me. Right wing. by telling you that, just labeling it that. And there's a lot of people who are left thinking. I'm not going to say left because they can be manipulated like through things like this. But you're right because you're a right wing because right wings also believe that tagging. For people like us who are deep or deeper into the ideology, that's not going to work. But for the person, the proletariat who doesn't have time to dig deep into things, they'll just go off what Cenk says. So then you have, so even people like today, when they're saying, oh, I'm not doing this with the Proud Boys, I'm not doing this with Boogaloo Boys, even the people in the chat today have failed to this. Because this is what you're telling me. This is so not a left mannerism, a left trait to me. This is what you're telling me. Let's take this from a human. You're telling me, let me tell you this, and I told this story before. Growing up in Compton, the second address from my memory, is two addresses. One address was in Compton, one address was in LA that I grew up, two places, right? And when we lived in this one in the Willowbrook area, close by Martin Luther King Hospital, and I think it's called a Jew Medical Center, and I was a school over there now, but it wasn't there when I lived over there. My mom has always been a communist, not politically, because she fed people all the time, all my life. I knew people would come and be getting food, my mom feeding them, ever since I remember. And there was this old white lady, racist white lady, who lived in the neighborhood because she couldn't afford to move out. And obviously she lived there when it was white, and now it had all become black and Mexican, black and Mexican, or black and brown, right? And she obviously resented. So she was known as the crazy lady. That was literally her name, the crazy lady, and everybody knew who it was. It was the white lady. She had a very pungent odor. She did smell, because she didn't have family that came over, and she was very elderly. My mom, this racist lady, my mom would bring food to her. My mom knew she was racist. So for me, that's how I'm approaching coalition building. I'm helping humans. I want humans to be helped. Humans that are against abortion, I want them to be helped too. I don't want them to feel racism, all the isms, sexism. Liberals, K-high people, I want them not to be discriminated against. I don't want them to be censored. So, maybe it's going to take more practice of revolutionary discipline. But if we are saying as leftists, we care about humans, does it stop at humans who disagree with us? That's what I'm saying about that. So let's move back to the video. Actually, let me throw up some comments before I get too backed up here. Your mom is great, CJ. Absolutely. Oh, wow. Somebody said this. MLK Hospital is a client. It was used to be known as Killer King. That was the name of the hospital, Killer King, because you would go there, and the hospital was so terrible because it serves black and brown people. It was so terrible, you could go in there for something you shouldn't have died of, and you would die. So it had the name Killer King. Let's do this one. Yeah, you've been going in on that. Flashlight, go outside and get some fresh air. CJ, yeah, all of our ancestors suffered the struggle like that in one way or another to get us where we are today. Exactly. If we, as in the Black community, if we just got a 2-minute video of what some of the things our ancestors did and realize, compare that to what we're doing now to liberate the Black community, we will be ashamed of ourselves where this has been has gotten to. But RBN is here to bring back that revolution, the black radical tradition. Bring that back. That's what we want. Yes, my mom is a great person. She just helps. So I kind of already know what to do. I'm gonna start helping, doing more work on the ground. I'm just waiting to meet with RBN. We're gonna have a big meeting, like bigger than normal meeting, to talk about a bunch of stuff before I kind of let everybody know. Thank you. All right, so let's see new comments here. They're having conversation. It is an extremely difficult thing to decide what issue you simply cannot let go and what issue you must let go. For the moment, for class solidarity, I'll let you know when I have. Yeah, and that's a great comment, because you're saying I may not be there now, but I understand it may take me some growing. That's a beautiful place to be in, where you don't want to be as locked in. Because it's one thing to understand the ideology of Marxism, the ideology of class solidarity. It's another thing to execute it. So you can have it here in your mind and you go, yeah, but I know that means doing this. And I'm just not. That's a good step, though. That's a good beginning. We love you even when I want to choke you, CJ. Thank you for the conversation. Absolutely. Yeah, I think I'm also here on RBN. I'm the person that has been given a task to have the most difficult conversations on this network. Or it just turned out to be that way. No, but I'm not going to say that. Nobody has given me that. It's just turned out to be that way. These conversations have to be had, and I feel what it is it's an irritant on my neck. Like if two people are having a conversation and it's like, clearly you two ain't wanting to say this thing that needs to be said right now. That's what it feels like. Like you don't want to say the thing, and this conversation can be over real quick. Like when I'm hearing that sort of conversation, it's an irritant. And yeah. Like the Nick Brana thing, that was an irritant. When the whole sexual not this stream, talking about when it happened months ago when it first came out. All right, so let's let me go back to this video, and then we're going to bring up some comments from the video. Actually, let's bring up some comments from the video first. Oh, my bad. I thought I was going to go out of. One second, everybody. Where did that clip go? I'm going to go to the main video and see what people are saying about it. Okay, so now let me share that again. Oh, wrong one. All right, let me share this again. The right one this time. All right, just one. That is the right one. I'm tripping. Okay, so this is the original video here. Now let's go to some quote tweets. Let's see. Oh, actually, there goes Primo. Let me go back to Primo. Actually, let's see what pops up. Maybe we can take it from here. Okay, let's go back to Primo. Okay, Primo Radical. commented on this video of Cenk. I don't think we've had Primo on the channel yet. Somebody should reach out and bring them up. So Cenk is a fraud. He and Anna did a 10-minute segment on my most recent interview with Noam Chomsky without ever mentioning my name, yet he refused to ever respond to my invitation to answer questions regarding how Jeffrey Katzenberg's $20 million has impacted TYT's reporting. Of course he's not gonna respond to that. What is this? It says, it's also funny he claims being a guest on a program makes him dance for them, yet we're supposed to just ignore TYT bent its knee to Katzenberg. Yeah, that's such a the whole TYT. That's such a just bullshit ass operation over there. Okay, I was looking for some other. All right, so that's it. But for let me let him say this last part. Let me fast forward it to the part.
In terms of the right wing, no.
This guy, man. All right, we're gonna sit through this a few more seconds because I want to comment on the BJG part here.
Oh no. Briahna Joy Gray, unfortunately, is one of the people that are in the fake left, and so this has become a whole niche part of the industry. So Jimmy Dore.
It is like complete projectionism. Like what he's saying here is actually him.
So Jimmy Dore, Glenn Greenwald, Briahna Joy Dore. So this has become a whole niche part of the industry. So Jimmy Dore, Glenn Greenwald, Briahna Joy Gray, and a couple of others in there that are, to be fair to Dave Rubin, he started this whole thing. The fake left saying, "Oh, well, it's just I'm a classical liberal, I'm a progressive, but it turns out the right wing's right about everything."
Okay, I can't no more with Cenk. Like, because I don't take this serious, so it's hard for me to really have like a. I feel like he's acting. That's the vibe that I get from him. I mean, look at that face. Don't stare at it too long, but I just get the vibe that he's not being genuine. He's not being genuine. So yeah, I just don't. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. So yeah. Let's now get to the next story, and the next story is actually let's get to the Proud Boys. Let's get to the not Proud Boys, but the what was it? The Patriot Front. My bad. Sorry, everybody. Let's get to that. And it was on, I think it's on Jimmy's. Or the first video. Yeah. First video is on from Jimmy. And then we're going to bring up a Kim Iverson video and Joe Rogan video that talks about, that gives they talk about the same Patriot Front, but it was the last time that this FBI, obvious like FBI operation came out with some news. So let me mute that here. And then we're going to watch this here through Jimmy here. All right, so let me share 1 second now that I have the video queued up. Now, this one is Jimmy, Patriot Front rioters arrested before gay pride event. Now, maybe I thought the same thing when. So let me play the video first, and then I'll comment. Actually, let's turn the volume on. Play the video.
Okay, so this happened. I don't know if you saw this. 31 people arrested in Idaho have ties to a white nationalist group and plan to riot at a pride event. Police say, here's what we know, says CNN. Want to know what CNN knows? Squat. I'll tell you what. So here's a video they took. Now, I just want
Okay, he's gonna point it out. So let me let him point it out, and then I'll say my words.
what jumps out. So what jumps out to you in this picture? Two things jump out to me in this picture. They've somehow arrested all these guys, but they didn't take their masks off them. What? That's the first thing they would do.
Yes.
And the second thing they would do is take their fucking backpacks away from them. That's the second thing they would do. You don't
like this is so comical. This is such a bad job at executing this. For the very reason he's saying, like that's two of the reasons he's saying. Let's see if this is this Savvy again. No. Okay, so but he's exactly right. They have these shirts, so they went and got shirts made. They didn't take their mask off. You don't know. What if they have weapons? What if they have contraband under their hats? Nothing. None of that you took off. What does he have in his backpack? What does he have underneath his backpack? Between the backpack and his shirt? You don't know any of that. And all of them are wearing it. Like, this is too. And they took a U-Haul. This is too, like, not what would happen if these were actual white supremacists.
You don't let the guy have his backpack full of weapons on his back.
And possibly as many as one smoke bombs.
Terrible.
So here's a video.
What this looks like? It looks like when they made the HBO Watchmen series. Like I thought like something from Bad Robot came up with this, you know?
Well, let's watch the video. Here it is. So all the cops are not even looking at them. They're looking the other way. Why would the cops be looking the other way? Again, what are they doing?
Since Uvalde, they have to face away from crimes too.
Since Uvalde in Texas, the cops are now instructed to turn away from the crime scene.
Don't take their backpacks. Let them.
Don't take their backpacks. In fact, take their hand.
I think Jimmy almost missed that joke, and that's why he.
In Texas, the cops are now instructed to turn away from the crime scene.
Yeah, it looked like Jimmy almost missed
something
that
from
joke.
Bad Robot came up with this, you know?
Well, let's watch the video. Here it is. So all the cops are not even looking at them. They're looking the other way. Why would the cops be looking the other way? Again,
because, Jimmy, they know the people behind them are law enforcement officers who aren't going to do anything. That's why they're not afraid. That's why they can turn their backs, because they know those people aren't real criminals. Aren't real white supremacists.
What are they doing?
Since Uvalde, they have to face away from crimes too.
This is literally a photo op. And I'm going to explain why it was a photo op when I show you all of how corporate media covered this same story.
Since Uvalde in Texas, the cops are now instructed to turn away from the crime scene.
Don't take their backpacks. Let them.
Don't take their backpacks. In fact, take their hands, put them on their backpack so they have access to them.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Patriot Front, I don't think they're very good rioters. I have to tell you, they're very orderly.
Boy, they're way too orderly for a riot. When was the last time Patriot Front actually had a riot? They always keep getting stopped.
Well, I do think the cops are great for catching. Like, can you imagine if at January 6th, the cops had shown the hustle that they just showed stopping a potential riot at an Idaho gay pride parade? Can you imagine?
Oh, wow. Wait.
Idaho. On the nation's.
Wait, Jimmy, because I'm kind of looking ahead at this. Jimmy actually has the same Joe Rogan video on this stream. So I'm going to fast forward to that part, and then maybe I don't have to bring up the Kim Iverson video. But let's fast forward to that part.
Rally, and later led a contingent of Virginia members to create
They do not want you to hear this.
Commercial. 3 seconds.
Patriot Front. That's who it is. It's all fishy to me. Here's the last time they did it. Remember the last time bystanders booed as the far-right Patriot Front stage a rally in Washington, D.C. to reclaim America. There they are. They're all dressed like in uniforms. They're all dressing in they have the big flags with them. They have their faces covered. Those guys they look like they have
you seen a white supremacy rally? Like one that's not on TV in the South or anywhere? Like this, they're not all in line like this. Everybody's in khakis. That could have been a good joke. White supremacists don't wear khakis, okay? Or rural white supremacists don't wear khakis. I guess that could have been a funny joke.
Have a purpose. That's not what I would think of. A guy with no purpose would be a fat slob with a ripped, dirty T-shirt on, wearing sweatpants. That's what a guy with no purpose looks like. These MFers got purpose, baby. And I bet they even have a pension plan. Last time that happened, here's what Joe Rogan and Matt Taibbi said about it. Matt Taibbi, who said he was going to call me, never called me.
You're telling.
So there was a Ken Myverson video I was going to bring up after this, but and it was to showcase the Joe Rogan video. And also I wanted to hear what Kim has to say. So maybe I'll still bring up the Kim video just to hear what she has to say. But now we're going to cover what Joe Rogan said when it happened at the time. And I was thinking the same thing, like, what the fuck is this? I've never seen. It'd be like if we saw a bunch of Crips and Bloods in line like that. Wouldn't you be like, that seems a little fishy to me. That seems a little fishy. So let's continue.
Telling me the FBI is not monitoring fringe groups and they were not aware these people are this fucking organized. Out of nowhere, they pop out with the same size flags and the same outfit on, goose stepping. They're walking, not goose stepping, but walking in this at the same pace in a fucking orderly line. Like who organized this?
This is them on their bus. I thought this was gonna turn into the video of them walking.
See the video of them walking. Is that the video of them walking?
These are linking to blog posts. It's not gonna.
God, there's got to be a video of them walking. I know. I've watched it. So here's it. Uniformed white nationalist group marches on Lincoln Memorial. CNN's all in. They're like, we're all in on this. Come on, show us. Look at these guys. Look at these guys. Where's the fat people? How come they're all wearing the same clothes? Do that again. What the fuck is this? Have you ever seen anything that looks more like Feds? Tell me that doesn't look like Feds. Right?
It's like the 101st Airborne.
Bro, look at this. These guys are all runners. These guys look like they just got out of buds.
I mean, look,
fuck out of here.
They could be real.
Right. They could be real.
They could be real.
Listen, Matt Taibbi, I'm an unreliable source and I'm a comedian. But looking at that, I'm calling bullshit. Give me that again. Give me that again.
Yeah, okay.
Well, this gets back to like the Oklahoma ivermectin story where
they're all wearing winter coats.
Yeah, like you know.
Look at this. The fuck out of here. How do they all have like uniformed outfits on? They have the same color pants for the most part. Very little variation. They have tan or brown pants, dark blue shirts with a fucking stupid flag on it. This asshole's got a drum. Back that up. Look at the fucking drum. Bitch, are you?
Oh, I didn't get that far in the video to that time. That's these people don't know. Like, yeah, that was funny. That was funny. That's a good shot at Jimmy right there.
You, Paul Revere, what the fuck are you doing with that drum? He's walking around with a band drum.
It's
like
white
a high
power
school
drum line.
This is so stupid, it hurts my feelings. They all have flags?
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, I guess it could be true, but it just has. I mean, maybe the FBI helped them along if it's true, because it's just too coincidental. Let me see, Kim Iverson. Patriot, I think, because I have the video somewhere, but let me see if I can just find it for here. I think this is it. Yeah.
California's Indian.
Let's see here. Wow, she paid for a whole one. I can't even skip it. At this point, they're just don't tell me this is another full video. You fucking bastards. I hate commercials. Like, I really hate commercials. Peanut butter and jelly. Okay. That's my favorite sandwich, though, so I'll let it go.
Well, Joe Rogan is questioning whether or not the white nationalist group Patriot Front is real or another FBI operation.
Uniformed white nationalist group marches on Lincoln Memorial. CNN's all in. They're like, we're all in on this. Come on.
Now, I'm going to let this play because not all of it, because it's going to allow us to see the marching larger, and that's what I want to see. Oh, did they not get to that part? Damn it! That's what I wanted to see. Do they ever get to that? No. Oh, here goes a picture though. So let's put this up here. I don't know here. Let's play it right here. So I just want to play the picture without the sound real quick.
I mean, the fact they came in the U-Hauls is extremely suspicious. None of them had trucks. Like, you know, so basically, if you were going to be the FBI or some agency, probably the FBI, and you were going to organize something like this, all of the boxes that you would check are being checked here.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that that's what happened, but that's really like not carrying weapons, not engaging the protesters in any type of violence that could escalate, because those would be rules of engagement that as a law enforcement person you're not supposed to do. Showing up in a U-Haul, because if you show up in or a rented van, because if you show up in your own, then people can figure that out and trace it back. Like all of these things. Plus Rogan's like, it just doesn't scan type of thing.
It doesn't work.
And to say that these may be feds is not to discredit the idea that there is a problem with white.
Okay, I can't listen to that guy that much. So now let's listen to the first part of this video now.
What's on your radar, Kim? Well, Joe Rogan is questioning whether or not the white nationalist group Patriot Front is real or another FBI operation.
Uniformed white nationalist group marches on Lincoln Memorial. CNN's all in. They're like, we're all in on this. Come on, show us. Look at these guys. Look at these guys. Where's the fat people? How come they're all wearing the same clothes? Do that again. What the is this? Have you ever seen anything that looks more like feds? Tell me that doesn't look like feds. Right?
It's like the 101st Airborne.
Bro, look at this. These guys are all runners. These guys look like they just got out of buds.
I mean, look,
out of here.
They could be real.
Right. They could be real.
They could be real.
Listen, Matt Taibbi, I'm an unreliable source, and I'm a comedian. But looking at that, I'm calling bull. Give me that again. Give me that again.
Yeah, okay.
Well, this gets back to like the Oklahoma ivermectin story where
they're all wearing winter coats.
Yeah, like you know.
Look at this. The out of here. How do they all have like uniformed outfits on? They have the same color pants for the most part. Very little variation. They have tan or brown pants, dark blue shirts with a stupid flag on it. This got a drum. Back that up. Look at the drum. Are you Paul Revere? What the are you doing with that drum? He's walking around with a band drum,
it's
like
white
a high
power
school
drum
band.
line.
This is so stupid. It hurts my feelings.
Well, the march Rogan is referring to happened this past Saturday, December 4th in Washington, D.C. There were about 100 to 200 demonstrators. They all wore matching jackets, khaki pants, carried flags or shields, and seemed fairly organized, marching to the beat of a snare drum. Because they were so seemingly organized, others besides Rogan wondered the same thing. Comedian and author Tim Young wondered, was today's Patriot Front parade just the FBI spending their end-of-year use-it-or-lose-it budget? Host Mr. Reagan tweeted, so the feds have a new fake militia group called Patriot Front. This is a laughably poor attempt at trying to trick conservatives into committing acts of terrorism. But it's also incredibly disturbing that they're doing this at all. So this made me curious. I'd never heard of this group and I wanted to dig deeper. Who are they and what are they about? Could it be that Joe Rogan's suspicions are right and this is an FBI operation? Or is this group very real and a genuine growing threat? Or is this group real and not really a growing threat, but one that can easily be ignored instead? Well, it turns out the group began in 2017 after the Charlottesville Unite the Right rally that resulted in the murder of Heather Heyer. That rally was organized by a group called Vanguard America. But apparently, after the chaos and violence, there was some infighting between the main leader of the group and one of his underlings. Ultimately, the underling, Thomas Rousseau, who was 18 at the time, decided to leave Vanguard America because of the violence and start his own group that he called Patriot Front. So the group is decidedly nonviolent, but they do believe that the country should be run exclusively by people of European ancestry. They do think people from different places and backgrounds can live in America, and they state they believe they can even be good citizens, but they should not be considered Americans nor make decisions for the country. They spent a lot of time talking about the corruption of our government and how bought off they are by corporations. They're very anti-drug. None of their members can use substances. They say the Americas were conquered by the colonizers, not stolen, and seem to be very proud of this. They say they believe in revolution and resisting tyranny, but I haven't seen any photos of any of them with any firearms or weapons. In fact, the worst thing this group seems to do is hang posters advertising themselves and tagging buildings with their slogans. That what stands out about this group and where one could come to the conclusion that this really is an FBI operation is how polished and organized they are. First of all, their website is extremely professional with well-done graphics, professional photos, and even a cinematic video trailer. It's almost too professional. Their social media posts are uniform and look like they're managed by a social media expert. Everything is color coordinated and themed. Even their graffiti is done with stencils. Their manifesto sounds like it's read by a professional voice actor. Nothing is sloppy. Snooping around their social media posts, you'll see videos and photos of the members who are relatively young looking, participating in boot camp style athletic drills and doing boxing workouts. They go on hikes and excursions, and they always wear matching uniforms and white face coverings. They've held several marches around the country, similar to the one held in D.C. In places such as...
I'm going to stop it there. The white face coverings, that to me is a problem as far as if this is legit. Like that to me, the white face coverings, just like the white sheets, because they were senators, there were police officers, there were other people that needed to hide their faces. So yeah, I mean, there was other reasons why sheets, but I'm just saying, yeah, I mean, there could be some truth to it, but I'm saying by now this has obviously been co-opted, in my opinion, or this is now has been infiltrated, taken over, being used as a tool to incite more white violence, so there can be more calls for locking us down, for more restrictions on our freedom to move about, freedom online. They need that. They need sort of a false flag event. They want to create sort of a false flag event so they can say, see, this is how Americans fall for everything. Patriot, right? This is how we fall for everything. Let's see what people are watching. Oh, wow. Is that what we got here? Thanks for giving me the update. I see 208 people. Yeah. Yeah, we actually could go higher because there's more people. There's a lot of new people here who haven't liked yet, even though it only says 200 and some odd people. A lot of people have not liked. So 272 people watching, 346 likes. We could probably do another 20 likes. Let's see if we can do another 20 likes. I'm going to be signing off in just a little bit, not too long from now. There is one more story. It is a quick story. So just to wrap up this story here, I think the Patriot Front, they could have had some sort of real beginnings, but by now, clearly, they're being helped, guided, manipulated by the government or some government agency. That's what I believe about the Patriot Front. And then what was let me just go to my graphic here. What was the other story? Okay. We talked about Cenk, and that was some bullshit. Now let's get to the Robert Reich. Is that how you say Roach video? I'm sorry. Terrible tweet or article. Actually, we actually took the time to write an article about this garbage. So by now, everybody is already seeing this. I wonder, has he? So this was the 13th. So on Monday, he decided to take a dump on all of us with this news, or a dump of a news. Maybe that's a better way of saying it. And let me share that screen now. Decided to take a dump. Here we go. Goodness, this is just nuts. So, Oh, looking for the button to make this a little bit larger. So Liz Cheney is a firm conservative, and I oppose many of her positions, but she has demonstrated tremendous courage and integrity in face of Trump's big lie. Do you see his participation in the ruling class? This progressive, so-called leftist, no self-respecting leftist who knows the wrongs of the military, knows the wrongs of the ruling class, whatever suggests this. She is a breath of fresh air for the Republic. Why is so many people concerned with the Republican Party? Why are so many people in the Democratic Party concerned with people in the Republican Party? Why is that? Why are you concerned with them and their leadership? Why is that? Let's I guess I can read some of this article, but I really just want to let me go back. I really just want to read people's comments first. So let's do that actually. Oh, yeah. Oh, here goes further. It's okay for you to be ignorant, but if you just keep quiet about it, you won't keep embarrassing yourself. I hate this. I fucking hate this. Liz Cheney wants my fiance and me dead and our relationship illegal, but even so-called progressives are supporting her because she clears the low bar of thinking Trump making himself dictator would be bad. Here's Margaret Kimberly. I thought I already retweeted this one. Oh, it was because it's another comment he said, like "hear me out" or something like that. That's the one I did retweet of hers. So just retweeted that one of hers. Why does Welch, a Democrat, care about Republicans at all? This is the question I just said. These liberals are treacherous. They'd accept Liz Cheney as a Democratic candidate in a heartbeat. That is Margaret Kimberly, friend of the show. And I was saying yesterday, I think Margaret has been on the channel the most of any of our guests, probably. I think she's been on the channel. Yeah, I'm looking. Here goes Chuck. Where's Richard Welch classic intro? Let me get this straight. When you really need it, to his very own tweet. That's pretty funny, actually. After I got through it. Let me see if there's anybody else I know. Okay. Lila. Also, I'll retweet all my friends. Trump derangement syndrome has broken so many people's brains. This, of course, is the intended result. January 6th, skeptical, whitewash sane Republican and move Democratic voters even further to the right. Never mind that Liz Cheney voted with Donald Trump 90% of the time. This is a great point. Resist my ass. Great point. She is Trump 97% of the time, right? And also, do you understand how that moves like she's pointing out here? If you say, just like what MSNBC did, because now all of a sudden, Joe Scarborough and Nicole Wallace are the most left people on the channel. And both of them are Republicans. Regardless if they say they denounce being Republicans. They didn't denounce your ideology. Let me see here. Let's go to see if there's anybody else I know here. Yeah, here goes Aaron Fights. So liberals no longer hiding the fact they are cheerleading for Republicans now. Remember, Pelosi and Biden said we need a strong Republican Party, class solidarity among elites in full effect. This is what I'm saying. And then we're going to listen to rich people tell proletariats what to do. That's what we're doing. It doesn't make sense. So listening to the TYTs, to the majority reports, that's what I mean. It's so bizarre to me. I wanted to read just Friends. Let me see if there's any other Friends here. Excuse me, everybody. Sorry about that. Oh, here was mine. I'll retweet mine also. And then I'll read, then I'll read RBN's reply to this. What I said was, if Dems nominate Liz Cheney, we take to the streets because that would mean they're no longer pretending to be two different parties. If they're blatantly saying we are one party, they're also blatantly saying full fascism is here. And then this one, RBNs, and I'll end it here. None of the positions she opposes affects him, so he's good. What did we say about rich white liberals, progressives? They have no business being the leading voices of the left. Proletariats, stop listening to the people, two classes above you. All right, so what I'm going to do from here, I'm just going to type in Robert. I think he's the only one that comes up here. Let's see. That. Because I want to see the other tweet he put out and some of the reaction from his other tweet. So let's see. Where is that tweet here? Maybe I'll type in Liz Cheney. Wow, our video comes up, but I'm looking for another tweet where he was saying, hear me out here, or something like that. Let's see if this is it right here. All right. I'm going to search for a couple more times, but I don't find it. I think I'm going to give up. Oh, hear me out. Let me type that in. Liz and hear me. I think he said hear me out or something like that. What did he say? I think. All right. I think that's it. I was trying to find the other one. Maybe if Margaret Kimberly retweeted it. Actually, I retweeted it, but I have a lot of tweets. So let's go to Margaret's page. Margaret. You can come with me on this journey. Margaret Kimberly. Margaret Kimberly. Where did she go? Here she goes. All right, so let's see if I can find her tweet a lot quicker. Because this is how, and that's her book, Support Margaret. This is how I came about it. Oh, retweets don't. Ah, shit. Quote tweets don't go there, so I have to go there. I hate how quote tweets don't go to media, but I guess that's right. That was her second one. Like I said, she did another one. Let's see if I can find it here. Did she do another one? I don't know. What the hell did I see? Anyway, we're gonna stop it there. All right, so I think I covered all the stories. I'm now going to take about 5 minutes to just throw up all your comments. Yeah, I'm going to take 5 minutes to throw up all your throw up not all your comments, but a lot of comments because I haven't been able to get to get to a lot of the comments. I'm bad with that. I know I'm taking you on a journey here, but I'm looking for something here. Retweeted that. That's the graphics. Did I reach it? Maybe not. Okay, maybe not. All right, so but anyway, oh, by the way, check out this video if you haven't already. Hero worshiping. Yeah, check that out. So let's end the stream. We're we're coming to a close now. Check this out. Hero worshiping is a huge problem on the American left, or on the left in the United States, I should say. Awesome. 386 likes. If we can push that to 400 before we leave, that's only 14 more. Tomorrow, Thursday, I won't be here. I'm doing a lot less, but my girls will be out of school soon. So I will tomorrow, I think, is our last day. So I will be able starting next week, I'll have probably a better time slot and I'll be more consistent. Yeah, I know you can hear it. You can hear that. I like that sound. I like that sound when I'm scrolling. It lets me, I don't know, it gives me feedback on what I'm doing. What was I just about to say? Oh, I did a like check. If we can do 14 more, let's see if we can get to 400 likes. And now I'm going to do some comments here. I'll scroll up a little bit, start up here. Laughing so hard at that. Then almost all Congress just finally agreed on a bill this week to use tax dollars to get protection services for the family members of SCOTUS because they are scared after Roe v. Wade leaked. Wow. That's what they're doing, huh? Robert rhymes with Robert Roach rhymes with third Roach. Talk to the parliamentarian because your elected officials ain't listening. Clinton's former labor secretary. Yes, that tells you. Clinton's former, and Clinton is terrible. Democrats equal Republican. Absolutely. Zoya is in the building. What's up, Zoya? Democrats are Republicans with progressive messaging. That is awesome. I'm going to star that. That is an accurate description. Another billion just went to Ukraine. Isn't that ridiculous? Another billion. How come can they write some billions and send money to us to cover this inflation? Can they do that? Like send everybody $1,000 a month to help with this inflation. Let's do that. Instead of sending this money off to war. It's our money. And we have no say over it. I like the sound of my mechanical keyboard, so I get that, CJ. Yes, I do like that. I guess this what is called feedback. And Brenda finally made it, or this is the first comment I saw. Maybe you're here earlier, but I'm loving your rant. Thank you. And AOC is a young Bernie. I think AOC is a young Pelosi. Because Pelosi was a progressive person or candidate or member when I think she was in her 30s or late 30s or so. Oh, wait, she must have been in her 40s if she's in her 80s now. She's been in her 30s. Yeah, wow. She must have been in her 40s then. Yeah, I'm getting off soon. Let's see if something else is coming up. Oh, Frank analysis. Frank analysis. I got a notification for that. Yes. Scrolling is your meditation. Wow. What is my meditation? Thinking, I guess. Hero worship is a huge problem on the left. Glad people are finally talking about this. I'm watching the very oh yes, I'm watching the very beginning. I was gonna say that when I read your comment. I was like, I wonder if she's watching the beginning. So I'm watching the very beginning, and yes, it's disgusting that Jimmy is trying to whitewash Nick Brana. This is why This is why I only listen to RBN. Thank you for listening to RBN. We do have some good comrades, though. Like listen to the Sabby Sab show. I like Comrade Misty, Frank Analysis, Convo Couch. Convo Couch. I was gonna say Fiorella, but that is her channel. She doesn't have a separate one as Convo Couch. Where is Sabby's comment? Right here. Yep, that tells you everything about Liz. Liz Cheney is an opportunistic psychopath, so of course they all love her. Optimism is it would bring me back to the party. I was a green. All right, I think we're gonna be coming to an end. Let's end with this. These are one of the last ones. So Liz Cheney went against her own sister. Liz doesn't like gay people. I forgot about that. Yeah, her sister is gay. I forgot about that. And Dick Cheney, is he still alive? Dick Cheney, I think is for gay rights because of his daughter. Correct me if I'm. Maybe he's not for, but he's not openly against it, like outwardly talking about it all the time. Robert lives in the Berkeley Hills. That is ritzy. Wow. Okay, so great comments. Let's see. There we go. Thank you. Yes, I do have to plug the fundraiser. So let's do that now on my way out. Again, let's try to get to 400 likes. And if we already reached there, let's try to get to 415. So, but let me go ahead and just shout out the fundraiser because the fundraiser is ongoing. So where is it? Fundraiser. Yes, it's on the Revolutionary Blackout. Okay, yeah, it's on here. I know you're hearing the scrolling in the back. I know you can hear that. But yeah, I already explained that. But where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Lots of great graphics though. Go check out all of these great streams we have up if you have not checked it out. Okay, now I think I've gotten to the point here. So this is one of the graphics. This graphic has the Venmo and PayPal that you can use. So it's 10,000. That is the target. I think we're at 13 or 1,400. I haven't checked actually in a while. When I say a while, like 3 or 4 days. So the last time I checked, I think we were at 1,200 or 1,300. So 10,000 is the goal. 70% of that, or 7,000, is for housing, which the bulk is for JB's situation. And then 2,000 is for, or 2,000 of that 70% is home taxes or house taxes for my mom, which she's on a payment plan for. And then the other remaining 3,000, 1,000 is for help us get this website finished and up. 1,000 is for Tour for the Poor, and then 1,000 is for Camp Dada. So that's if you're able to contribute. Like we have 18,000 followers. If everybody just gave $1, if everybody gave 50 cents that subscribe to us, we will be very close because that will be about $9,000. So if we do it as a group, it's a lot easier to help comrades in need. JB is, of course, at the top of the list of need when we're talking about that. So that's very important. Now, there is another graphic, and here's a Camp Dada graphic for you just to see. Support Camp Dada. And you can follow them on Twitter and find out the details about Camp Dada, but this is a direct action event. Direct action event is what Camp Dada is. Then this is the graphic support tour for the poor Casey barbecue. This is for when Nick is there. And yeah, this is from when when Rome goes to Nick and or raising money for the barbecue. So yeah, there's that one, and then this is for my mom. That's actually my mom. That's actually a picture of her. Fundraising for property taxes. That's not her house though, but just a house. I like this graphic though. With the look, I want to maybe use this Compton J for something. With my picture in the O. And then I'll come back to that road trip graphic. And then we have JB. So fundraising for JB. You can see a couple of photos of him when he was little. I think 4 years old is what he said. Help secure housing. And then I'll show you this road trip one here. This will be the final one I show you. Sorry, let me scroll up so you can see. Or I can just click it. You'll see it. This is an idea of traveling around, either campaigning or speaking, helping to organize, helping to, if there's a unionizing effort in the area, we can help do that. Maybe do a college tour, speaking college tour. That's an idea. Sabrina thought of a college tour, and then who was it that was doing speaking? I can't remember what it was. Who's going on speaking tours? But that's what we should do. We should probably go to college tour because we want to target everybody, but some of the younger crowd. This is what Kashama does. She goes to schools and have those students go out and help her do some of the groundwork where she's at. So maybe that could be a strategy. So that is that. So that's going to end the stream for today. Thank you for tuning in for this stream. Now watch. If you joined late and didn't get a chance to watch it from the beginning, I would suggest that you do so and watch it from the very beginning. And then we're gonna leave you with let me see, which one haven't I played? I don't think I've played this one. So we're gonna leave you with a video. Just like I always close out with these historical videos. This one happens to be in color. Let me pause it and make it
revolt against the people
and make it bigger. All right, so I'm going to leave you with this video. Thank you for joining me. I'm not going to be here tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the Sabby and JB show, or is it the JB and Sabby show tomorrow? And I'm not sure if Nick or somebody else is going to be streaming during the day. But we're going to end. Let me see. So Sabby will be live Thursday. She's off tonight. So let's end with this video. Thanks for watching. Even if we disagree, I bring passion to conversations. That's just my style of speaking. So this is how we will interact. I'll be passionate when we agree, and I'll be passionate when we don't agree. So the passion to me is what's important. So either way. All right. So thank you for watching today. Give this stream a thumbs up. Let's see if we can push that number as high as we can. And thank you for watching. Oh, picked the wrong one. Here we go.
It also reduces the revolutionary potential of Black people, because you cannot revolt against a people whose values you share. And therefore, it makes the educated Black, were he educated along Afrocentric lines and along philosophies that were very distinct and different from European philosophy, that would set him up then to actually then rebel against Eurocentric psychology and philosophy as such. But since he values that philosophy, the only thing that he can ultimately do is seek reformations to reform the systems, which is pretty much where Black leadership has been set. Now, it's not a leadership that's seeking to bring about a new world order, for instance. A world order that's based on, say, different philosophies, but one that seeks merely to share the material culture of whites.
We talked a little while ago about, we mentioned Milton and Shakespeare. This touches on something that you talked about earlier, that is the Marva Collins story out of Chicago, the black lady who did some miraculous, quote, miraculous thing, quote, miraculous thing.
In the context of this culture, yes.
Right, with some black kids, excuse me. Deal with that, if you will.
Yeah, Marva Collins has become quite a celebrity here lately, particularly as a result of her being on this so-called 60 Minutes segment, and as well as a recent drama based on her life. And I think deservedly so, in that she was able, through her own educational efforts, to elevate the intellectual functioning of black children who ordinarily would have been consigned to those categories we mentioned in the earlier show as being learning disabled and unable to read, and move them to such a level that they, as 8th grade students, were reading at high school or beyond high school level, that their scores,
First of all, our position on guns and violence in general, on war in general, is one of being against war and being against violence. And this is not a changed position. If it seems in contradiction to some of my earlier statements, simply because people have not understood what I was saying in the first place. That I say that violence, war, and guns are a thing that the Black Panther Party would like to see gotten rid of. That we absolutely are against people killing each other and committing violence on each other. But also, we recognize that we don't advocate that the oppressed people, that the victims leave themselves subject to the aggressions of the criminal. And these are the people who are forcing us to a state of subjugation and keeping us in a state of slavery. And this is the people all over the world. For instance, I'm sure the Vietnamese people would like very much for this government to give up its guns, because that would mean that the military would disarm itself and stop killing little Vietnamese children and women and destroying them. I think I stated earlier that the motto of the Panther is that we're advocates of the abolition of war. We do not want war, but war can only be abolished through war. And in order to get rid of the gun, we find it necessary to take up the gun. So the first thing to do is not to disarm the victim, but disarm the aggressor, disarm the person who's first causing the violent incidents. The United States have been visiting violence upon the world, or causing violence upon the world for years.